ESL! All right. What I want to show you today is a game that I came up with when I was working on a phonics course. This is based on your 5 major vowel sounds in the English language. You can use this with the long sound or the short sound. But I just use the A, E, I, O, and U because Y is sometimes, man. Sometimes there's no Y here. There's no Y for it in this game. There's no Y in this game. But it's based on a famous Shaw Brothers Kung Fu film. I grew up watching Kung Fu films, and I remember a film called The 5 Deadly Venoms. And what you had was a gang of Kung Fu masters who all had skills based on 5 venomous creatures. So what I do here, and I suggest any ESL teacher does this, is they go out and buy themselves a laminator, because you're going to find making your own flashcards is definitely an asset for you as a teacher. So I would strongly recommend that piece of equipment. Anybody who's going to be working in this field, to make that purchase, or maybe encourage your school or your manager at that school to purchase one for the school, because it's something that comes in really handy. And I made myself some 5 flashcards here. I got the A with the snake, and I got the E with the centipede, and the I with the lizard, the O with the frog, and the U with the scorpion. And you're going to need these flashcards for the first variation I'm going to show you. So let me kind of walk you through that right now. Now keep this in mind. I'm doing this in my apartment currently now here in China, because I don't really find it. This job I'm working at here doesn't really sort of facilitate this kind of activity, because I have a very large class, and you need a small class for this kind of activity. So I would suggest using it in classes of maybe 14 to 16 students, because it just kind of consists of one student pairing off against another in a competition. And if you got 40 students, you really don't have the time to do that kind of activity with them. So that being said, I'm doing this in my apartment right now to demonstrate it. And also, even when I was working in training centers, I never felt very comfortable, considering the time that I needed and the focus of the classroom, to be bringing in a video to be showing everybody the kind of work I was doing in the classroom. I didn't really feel that was my place to do that there. So I'm going to show you here. But it's a good idea. I have worked it before in the classroom. It was pretty fun, and you know, a little bit of imagination kind of goes a long way here. So I have my flashcards. I set them up. I got a mat here. I'm going to set them up on the mat right there in the middle. Now, A-E-I-O-U. Now in the classroom, you might want to section off a space with electrical tape or a marker or something like that. Set up your sort of competition match mat or something like that. Like so. I like to flip one card one way and one the other way, because the students will be facing different directions here, and I try to make it as fair as possible. So, because yeah, your kids will call you out on that. So, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see, that's not fair. They're all facing him. They pick up on all that stuff, so you gotta like try and sort of think of it before they do. So you have maybe student Jeff come over here. He's gonna stand on this side of the cards, of the mat. Maybe student Bobby come over here. He's gonna stand on this side of the mat, and they're gonna be facing each other. And you're gonna kind of just proceed as if it was a, you know, an official karate match. You're gonna bow to each other. Bow, bow. Then they're gonna bow to the teacher. The teacher's gonna be standing right here. The teacher's gonna be the officiator of the match. What I like to do here is I like to run through the sounds. I like to say it's gonna be, let's say I'm gonna say this is gonna be a short vowel, or short sound. So let's go through it together. So this is, what is this? Ah, eh, ah, 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 eh, ah, ah. So we go through it, make sure they know it. And then, once you're confident they know it, you begin the match. And you do so by making this gesture. And so, maybe student Jeff's going to go, boom. So student Bobby's got to think of a word using it. So he's going to go maybe hit, hit, hit. He's going to step on ah. And student Jeff has to think of a word using ah. Hot, hot, hot. Steps sign, Student Bob's got to go, cat, cat. Bed, bed. Oh, he steps on, oh. And so now maybe student Bobby can't think of a word, or he pauses too long. So the teacher can then award the point. Once a student can't think of a word, the point gets awarded to whoever stepped on the card. And you can do this if you like. You can do it with best of 3, best of 5. Depends on how much time you want, how competitive you want to make it. And then you can also do champions, or have rounds, or who moves on to the finals. You can do the whole sort of tournament sort of aspect that can be exploited too. But I came up with this idea based on a game called Foot Thief. And Foot Thief, if you're familiar with the game, it just requires us teachers saying a word or students saying a word and grabbing it. But I thought I'd have a little fun with it since we were just working with the vowels, that they had to think of a word. Now let me show you a second variation. I got 2 variations of this that I tried out since I was working on this game. And this one you don't need the flashcards. So what I maybe might do here is put them on the board or something, or put them somewhere in view so people can show as reminders. And say I want to look at the long vowel sounds, the A, the E, the I, the O, and the U sound, right? But in this one, you have all your students kind of stand up and you have to kind of rehearse the motions, right? For this, I thought of some karate stances. I just kind of went on the internet and got some karate stances, some basic karate stances there to teach the kids along with the vowel sounds. So maybe there's A, and then there's E, and then there's I, and then there's O, and then there's U. Right? So we go through those karate stances. We just kind of rehearse them for a little bit, 2 or 3 times, and then maybe you want to reiterate them when you start the match out, right? And here, what the challenge is for the 2 students, you're going to sound the same way. Student Jeff, student Bobby, bow each other, bow the teacher. Maybe when I go through them, what is this here? A, what is this here? E, what is this here? I, what is this here? O, what is this here? U. So here they have to remember the correct motion, the correct stance with the correct word, with the correct vowel. So maybe the student Jeff, you're gonna start him off again. Begin. So maybe student Jeff's gonna go. Mate. So he's doing the A sound. And maybe student Bob is going to go, meat. So student Jeff's going to go, huge. And maybe student Bob is going to go, pine. And maybe student Jeff's going to go, cat. Oh, all right. So here you gotta pay a little more attention. So he did the A sound, but it was the short sound. We're looking for the long sound, so it would be more Kate, not cat. So here it's a little bit more complex, maybe a little more advanced. Award the point to Bobby. Student Bobby gets the point because student Jeff did the wrong vowel sound. And you can also award the point based on the wrong motion, or they can't think of a word. And that was a little bit more complex, quite a little more focus, a little more thought into their answers. But it was quite fun. We had a good time with this whole 5 deadly vowels thing in the classroom. So that's my game, 5 deadly vowels. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can use it. If you like it, or if you have any comments about it, I'd like to know, and please post in the comments below. Otherwise, please click like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And otherwise, until next time, this is Outtake ESL. We'll talk to you later.